Hello and welcome to my FIFA 20 Day 1 Budget Picks, version 2. The wait is over, the demo is here, as you can see from the gameplay in the background. It also means that we're less than 10 days away from the full release of the game. I don't have a good opinion yet on it because I only played a couple of times, but as soon as I finish with this video, I'm gonna jump straight into some games and see what FIFA 20 is gonna be all about this year. Like I said, the aim is to be able to make a cheap but good enough team to start grinding objectives, playing rivals and squad battles, see how the gameplay works, and to get some good rewards just in time before the first weekend league. The total cost I'm going for is about 16,000 coins for the starting 11. Now I'm going for a low budget team for two reasons. One is for those with no welcome backpacks or starting on new accounts, so you have nothing but the initial rewards from objectives and SBCs. Also, if you get bad packs from those rewards with players that are not worth that much, and you're left with a low amount of coins to try to work on a team. And two, that we don't spend too much on a starting team, so when we decide to sell any players or the whole team, we don't lose any coins. This is going to be based on doing the starter objectives, a couple basic SBCs, any games that we're required to complete those, we'll keep anything that's usable from those rewards, and we sell the rest on the market. Now, every year when starting Ultimate Team Club was to go on the EA catalog and purchase a bunch of items, but apparently that's not the case this year. From what I'm seeing around, some, if not all the items that were foot related on the catalog are now going to be in objectives, which means that we're left with thousands of FCC coins that are worthless, but it also means that these are going to be accessible to everyone from day one. It also means that there's going to be a lot more grinding this year, which makes a budget starting team more important, so you can jump right in the game as soon as possible. Since most of the teams I'm seeing around for starter teams look expensive, my recommendations here are for a good team but on a small budget that you can do on day one and use on the initial stages of the game to start earning coins, rewards, and completing objectives to build that better squad. Let's have a look at some of the players, and remember that while I'm including a 100 chem team for you to copy and make on day one, you can also pick a few players for your starting team and fill in the rest with your ideas or with any untradeable players that you might get. Correa from Lazio was the first player I talked about in the previous video, and I was right on the money about him getting another upgrade from 79 to 80 this year, and also a position change from left mid to a center forward card. Now we can't see his in-game stats yet, so I'm not sure if his heading and jumping was increased, but the rest of the card looks good, with a great nation and great league for easy linking. 4-star, very tall at 6'2", high medium work rates. I'm thinking of him being a good buy at around 1,800 coins, but he might be going a bit more than that. Now, I said how I was going to get Simone Verdi for that right side, but not only did he get a downgrade from 81 to 80, he also got a position change from right wing to left wing. So instead, I went with Politano, a great card, a good card that, although he's the same rating as last year, he did get a small increase in pace and in shooting. Now he's 4-star, although a bit short at 5'7". He has great agility and balance, good crossing, good shooting, high medium work rates. He looks like a good cam at around 1,200 points. To link him in the midfield, or any other maybe defender or attacker you go for in Serie A, I chose two players that are good for box-to-box or defensive mids with good all-around stats. Now Parolo has a small downgrade from last year, from an 82 to an 81. He has a 4-star foot, 3-star skills, high at 6 foot, Although he's a bit slow, he makes up with the rest of his stats and makes him a good CDM or a good CM that will probably go for around 1,000 coins or less. The other guy is Bonaventura with 3-star foot and 4-star skills, high medium at 5'11". He has more well-rounded stats, but he's going to be more expensive because of that at around 2,500 coins. Now, I talked about a good left defensive triangle that I liked, but I didn't take into account Murillo's transfer to Calcio A. So I made some minor adjustments at the back. At left back, since Mojica got a huge downgrade from 78 to 75, I went for Fabra. That got a rating increase from 77 to 78. With good stats, but a hard league and nation, so he's going to be cheap, I think, for around 1,200 coins or maybe less. To link him, I use Murillo, but in the Italian league this year. Although he also got a downgrade to 79, his card still looks good for a starter team. At 6 foot with medium-high work rates, great pace, good defending and physical stats. At a price range at around maybe 1,000 coins, he looks like a solid card to get. And to complete the triangle, in the midfield I'm using Lerma from Bournemouth. Now this card stayed at 79 rating, but he's now a common gold and not a rare card like he was in FIFA 19. His face stats look the same, except of his pace being a bit slower, but still good enough to make an excellent CDM for any starting team. Now he's 4-star, 3-star, medium-high, okay pace, good defending, good physicals. Because he's a common gold card, I don't know if that will affect his price going up, but since last year he was about 1,000 coins, if he is the same this year, you need to buy him right away, as he will also fit into any Premier League team. I changed the right side of the defense since I couldn't get the cam to work because of Murillo's move to the Italian league, and also because of Bartra that I used on the first version got an upgrade to an 83 rated player, which makes him more expensive at the start. So instead I went with Cáceres from Lazio, which is a decent looking card with good pace and defending stats, with a low price range at about or maybe under 1,000 coins. To link him up at right back, I went with Malquit from Napoli, a new card. Although he looks like a decent right back, he probably won't be that cheap at around 1,500 coins. So if that's the case, just replace him with any other budget Italian league right backs, like the other right back from Napoli, Hissaz or something like that, or Zappacosta from Roma. Put a cheap defensive chem style card on him and boost those defensive stats. And to complete the defense, in goal, I'm using Perin from Juventus, another player with a downgrade from 84 to 82. There's not much difference on his face card stats, and I think he's a great solution for maybe around 1,000 coins or maybe even under that. But also any Calcio A keeper will work with his team. And last but not least, Ryan Fraser, a card that I like for a few reasons. First, because I used his first inform last year that came out early in the season, and I used for a couple of weeks and I thought it was a great card at the beginning. He gives me that strong link to Lerma, and also is a player that got another huge upgrade this year to 81, and he started all the way back at the beginning of FIFA 19 from a common gold card at 75 rating. Now, because of this huge boost this year, he might not be that much of a budget player, but he also might fly under the radar, as most people will be looking for certain players from the Premier League in the left wing, like Mane or Sané or Felipe Anderson or Martial or Pulisic, players like that. So he might go a bit unnoticed, and that will keep his price low maybe. So I'm gonna look for him at around maybe 2,000 coins or maybe a bit more than that. If he comes out a lot higher than that, I'll be looking for probably other alternatives in that left wing position. So this is a day one budget team for about 15,000 coins. If we can buy the players around the price I listed. Also, I think it's a team that can play in a few formations in game, like the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-2-2-2 or even the 4-1-2-1-2. Like I said, it's a team that you could use at the beginning of FIFA 20 on a budget, because the idea is to start grinding those objectives, which looks to be very important, a very important part of the game this year. Play rivals, play squad battles for the rewards, and get a better sense of the gameplay, so you have a good understanding of what players you want in what positions. Also make good use of any loan players you might get. Don't save them in your club, as eventually they will just stay there. You upgrade your club and then you don't need to use them anymore. Just use them, expire their contracts. They're there to help you at the beginning. Only keep maybe a few that you might need as super subs in a few games that you think that might be important for you, and you definitely need to get that win. Now for the updated full list of the players, check out the link in the description of this video and let me know in the comments what you think of this team, or if you have any ideas of any other cheap, good players for a starting team. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.